Hi, it's me. Oh my gosh. Oops. Alright, yeah, I gotta brush my hair real quick. Comb my hair. I was just thinking, like, oh, I should probably comb my hair. So I pull my hair tie out, thinking, oh, I make my hair look a little nicer. Gosh, I look like some, something. Anyway, we're gonna try this again. Hello, Robin. Hello, Kyle. And anyone else that's messaging me that I haven't responded to, I'm sorry. I've made several videos and just haven't published them. All summer long I've made several videos letting people know what's going on, and I just haven't published them. Why? I don't need to. But I do need to. I really do. So here's another reason why I say I don't need to. It's not just the don't need to, it's just that part of the brain. And that is because you've heard me talk about the whole the moment of requirement kind of thing. Well, when you make a video that you're going to post, then you make video, then you post, right? But if for some reason you don't, well, now the brain has to question why, as silly as it may sound. And when the brain questions why, well, first it looks like this. Okay, I need to make this video. I need to post this video. See the confidence, see the straightforwardness that I'm speaking to you right now, right? Make the video, post the video. But if you don't get to do it when you're supposed to do it, well, why? Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Well, now maybe there's something about that video. Maybe my brain was trying to tell me something, that maybe I did something in that video that I shouldn't have done, or, now you give the brain room to question. Oh, goodness. Why do I have to know these things? Anyway, because someone does. It's funny, actually. I was talking to my brother. He's kind of temporarily moving out. Change of pace, change of view, so to speak. Sorry, my hair is dirty. There's just nothing that's going to happen with it. I'm going to mess with it probably throughout the video because I hate seeing myself, especially in this particular way. Whatever. Oh, great, I have neighbors outside. Oh, if you can't tell, I'm in a tent. So yes, part of it is kind of a space issue in the house right now. My dad moved back in, which is a good thing. But there's a little bit of a space issue, because some people can make it to some floors better than other floors, and bathrooms are on some floors but not on other floors, and so it's better to put so-and-so here where it's not far from the bathroom, maybe in my room. And oh, that's right, my bed has those bars above it so that it's helpful to, when you have back problems, leg problem, any problem, being able to help you get out of bed. Yes, all that. So, and rather than sleep anywhere else, gosh, I like sleeping outside, so that's where I am. And Benji too. We're both camping out in the backyard this summer. I usually like to actually sleep in a tent out during the summer. I usually go till it gets kind of cold, like cold. I'm just a camper at heart. We had a late start this year because of some vacations that popped up out of nowhere that I wasn't planning on taking, but we ended up going on. Interesting experiences, let me tell you. Definitely gave me an insight into some stuff that's going on with my brother, my one brother. Can't really talk about it because it's his personal stuff, and I haven't asked him if it's okay to talk about his stuff. But boy, oh boy, you see that brain, and you see it just going round and round in circles. Round and round in circles. Round and round in circles. Because this person is convinced that this is so important, that this or this or this or whatever, this item or these items are so important. They're the main problem. They're the main issue. They're the main focus. and they go round and round in circles. And here's one of the ways you can tell it's not true. One, because you no longer have the ability to say what if and step outside that circle. If someone sits there and says, that person's house caught fire last night, you're still going, oh yeah, my problems, my problems, my problems, my problems, right? You might say, oh, that's sad, but man, that reminds me of when that happened to me. And it's all about you, right? It's that focus. And that's how you can tell you can't step outside that circle, and you can tell why that circle's not a real circle. Your brain is doing it on purpose. And why? Because it's trying to distract you from what should really be in that circle. Unfortunately, a lot of times, especially when we've gone through some kind of trauma or something, the brain is hiding it for a reason, to protect us. So think of it like when you get close to that reason, the brain has to find a way to distract you away from that reason, because it still doesn't have answers to it. And rather than just sit there paused, because it doesn't know what to do, life continues on, right? So we have to keep moving forward. So instead, it distracts you with things that are legitimate concerns, but they're not the concern. Anyway, and I say that, I actually have what do you call that? An example of that. So, okay, let me give you the whole back story. Yeah, I guess this is going to be one of my long videos. I'm waiting until my mom comes home, and then I'm going to go upstairs to her room and make breakfast, because my one son is downstairs sleeping because he works third shift. Oh, this is going to come into play in a few minutes. You'll find out. Anyway, I really got to do something with my hair. It's going to drive me crazy because it's dirty, and I need to wash it. Okay, well, life goes on, right? Right. Okay. So, a while back, I was upset because it didn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I've got this information. I know it's real. I know it's good. I know it's true. Why can't it get out there? Why? I mean, I know it's not mine. I didn't come up with this on my own. There's no way. There's no way I could have come up with this on my own. So it had to have been something beyond, right? Let's play with this for a minute. Let's play with this and say it's a mission from God, right? It came from God. Let's just go there. I'm having my Blues Brothers moment. And, well, if this is on a mission from God, then wouldn't you think that it would just kind of magically fall into, not magically, obviously, miraculously, got to use the correct word there, miraculously fall into place, right? Right? No? So then why is it not? It made sense when I wasn't really doing anything about it, when I wasn't trying to contact any of the doctors or think tanks or universities or all that other stuff, right? Made sense then. But what about when I was? What about when I really was trying to do those things and it wasn't working? What? So I prayed about it. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't, what am I doing wrong? What's the issue? Well, like most people, when they hear God speaking to them, very simple words, very few words. I wonder why. Clean house. Clean your house. That's what I think of. Clean your house. Clean house. I can't remember. Anyway, it's been several months actually since it happened. And I was actually thinking about the wording of it the other day, and I thought, oh, geez, I see why that happened that way too. Anyway, so as many people know, and I know I've told you, Kyle, and I know I've told you, Robin, been a hoarder for many years, just keeping stuff. I'd go to the dollar store and spend $100 on junk. And then I either filled up the house with it or filled up storage units with it. So yes, I would, what do you call it, pay $100, whatever, a month to keep my junk dollar store items. Yes. Oh gosh. Woohoo. Anyway, glad I don't do that anymore. But the shopping part, the buying, that stuff, I don't do that anymore. But what I have, I still have. From time to time, I do still go through collecting in. I've gotten a lot better about that. It's only just a few times a year, like at Halloween, means a lot to me. Back to school, vacation, summertime, that kind of stuff. And I think Christmas. Those are the big ones that it kind of happens at, where I'm all of a sudden like, oh, I got to go online. And then like the back to school, the tax-free holiday. And of course, I mean, it was days. It wasn't even like 3 days like it usually is. It was days that this went on, for like 14 days or something. Did that whole time I go out shopping? No. Every day I reminded myself I needed to do it several times a day. But I knew the answer. I could already tell. You're not going to do it till the last minute, are you? Nope. Because that's the last moment. That's the procrastinating, right? Nope, I don't need to until I need to. Until there is no return. Right? Not no return, obviously, with shopping. Until tax holiday ends at midnight. Literally, I was running it till midnight. I'm not kidding you. I bought several things because the internet was messing up, simply because I couldn't go back through the list and get rid of them. I ended up with a lot more than I should have. But anyway, that stuff's going right back. I already got it set up. My dad's helping me to keep that move forward. It would already be back by now if I hadn't had to go to 2 funerals already this week. Fun times. And I got another one coming up still. That one's gonna be a hard one. Anyway, none of those people were close to me necessarily, but they were close to others in my family, and so I've had to be there for them. The one fella a little close. Not, but also, yeah. So a whole nother story. Anyway, so like I was saying, so I got this message, clean house, clean your house, whatever. And it was just like, what? What's that mean? Clean house. Yeah. I kind of knew. It's one of those things where you're like, I know what's being said to me, but I'm going to pretend like I don't know what's being said to me, so then I don't have to do anything. Yeah, good luck hiding that truth. So it's the hoarding thing. I've been, like I said, hoarder for many years, and it'd be one thing if it was my own house and I was doing it to my own self and my own world, but there's all these people around me that I live with that I'm kind of putting it on them too. And not just that, but unfortunately when it comes to hoarding, one of the issues is that just as much as it's in your world, it's also in your brain. Every item that you have is in your brain, like a little list. Here's the difference. I have my phone charger and on my list in my brain, right? But my phone charger gets used, so that's filed away correctly. My pillow, filed away correctly. Everything that I have that's getting used or has a purpose in some way, or sentimental value, actual real sentimental value, it's filed away correctly. All the rest of that junk is just taking up space in the lobby, blocking me from getting from one room to the next room because I have to go through all the garbage to get through it, just to put it in a visual for you. So, it kind of makes sense why, just speaking mentally, why maybe it would be difficult for somebody, if they had to, every time they wanted to walk from one room to another room, they had to work their way through a bunch of junk, right? Just like every time they tried to say this piece of information and then go to this piece of information correctly, they have to wade their way through a bunch of junk, right? So here's me trying to explain things, and at first it starts out a little good, and then all of a sudden we're wading through the junk to get to another part of the brain to pull that piece of information. That makes sense, right? It makes it more difficult for me to move around inside my own brain to find the information I need, right? Okay. Just trying to put it in a visual for you. So, cleaning house might be a good idea, right? Right? So, at some point, I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't remember what words were used, but basically I made a deal with God. So I cleaned my house, and then you can help me with this. Now, whether it's true or not, whether I actually made a real deal with God or not, my brain believes that it has. It's very important to recognize it like that. I mean, I even went to the priest at one point and I said, is it okay if I don't pray for something in particular? I know I confused the bejesus out of the guy. Excuse my words. I didn't even think about that. But I was only asking that because pretty much I felt like any time that I say or do anything involving the theory, because I'm still going to, you know, whether the work is done or not, I'm still going to, that I'm going to screw it up, like I always do. I'm not very good at talking about it, unless it's like right on the spot. I see something, see a need, fill a need, yeah, then I'm good. Otherwise, not so much. And then I'm also worried about people's feelings, and because I don't for a fact know that I am correct with my theory, for a fact, yeah, can't say anything, right? Shouldn't say anything. I need to say something, but I shouldn't, but I need to, but I know, I'll let that back and forth. I'll tell you about that one too. But anyway, trying to at least keep this clear. So no matter what, my brain believes it's true. So I am attempting to do that. Of course, my brain will also find every way it can to get away from it. For example, the other day I was going to work on stuff in the house, like by the front door. There's a bunch of stuff I need to work on. Oh, but the lawn outside needs to be worked on. And I know my dad. He'll go out there and he'll work on it, and he'll push himself to the point of exhaustion. And no, I don't want him to do that. So then I went out and did that. Sounds like a legitimate reason to do that, right? You don't want your dad to do it? There's 15 other people that could have done it. I could have stopped my dad after a certain amount of time once he went out there and started working. You know, I work in the house, he works outside the house, I'm standing right there at the front door, I can see him. Could have ran out there every so often bringing him water and tea, you know. But instead, I went and did that work instead of the work I needed to do. And why? Because for as much as I am ready to get rid of the hoarding stuff, my brain's not. It's still finding distractions. Even now, this video. Technically, is there anything that said officially I needed to make this video? No. And again, like several videos I've made, have they been published? No. So is this one going to get published? Who knows? But it's something that needs to be done. It does need to get done. I do need to do it. It's important. But is it the important thing to do? No. A big one is food, too. Making food for other people. Instead of me looking at people and saying, you can make your own food. I got work to do. The work that only I can do. It's different. Like when it comes to making food and doing yard work, anybody can do that stuff, right? Not anybody can go through my stuff. And even though I've told people in my family, look, just get rid of it. Just do it. I, as long as I don't see it going, I won't know. And when I do figure it out later, it'll be too late and I'll be able to move on from it. But I just can't do it. I can let go of it, but someone else has to do the work. Well, that's not fair. They didn't collect that stuff. I did. And even though, yes, I know that that's kind of how it works when it comes to the functional brain. Yeah, you do the work. You take that person by the hand, step 1, step 2. Um, I don't know. I guess I kind of figure myself as being a little bit more, I can't tell people that my theory works if it doesn't work for me too, right? And if I can recognize that I'm just trying to look for distractions and trying to, well, yeah, I think I should be able to recognize it for myself and get past them myself. That way I can prove, yes, my theory does work. Yes, I have figured out how to speak to the brain in a different way. Anyway, which speaking of, let me bring that up. I finished with the hoarding part, by the way. Chapter's done. I figured out that, and I wanted to say this at the beginning of the video and I didn't, so now my brain is going to have a reason why we don't publish this video. Oh, darn it. Let's see if we can get past it anyway. I figured out, even though the functional brain is not the subconscious, there's subconscious involved, just like there's conscious involved. I'm thinking that that's the way I'm going to word it with people from now on. Because when I look at people and I say, your brain is doing that, whether you like it or not, your brain is doing that for you. People look at me like, what? I'm in control of my own brain, thanks. But if I look at them and I say, it's a subconscious thing that's happening, they go, oh, I've heard of subconscious. Oh, I know it can be a tricky little thing, can make us do things without us realizing it. Oh, the subconscious. Oh, that could be it. Well, for the love of cheese. I say that because I overheard my brother. I overheard my brother talking with his doctor the other day. He talks online at home. I wasn't eavesdropping. I happened to be in the other room, even with the door closed. Still could hear him. And he mentioned something about eye contact. Not being able to make eye contact. Or his doctor did something about it. And I'm sitting in the other room going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because they're talking about how he has a problem with making eye contact. Now, I can't hear the whole conversation. I'm just hearing little bits. And of course, I'm hearing this, problems making eye contact. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to scream. I want to scream. I know the real me wants to just run in there and right in front of not just my brother, but this doctor too, say, I'll tell you the reason why you can't make eye contact. I know what the reason is why you can't make eye contact. And I had to hold myself back. Because it's not the right thing to do. It would actually be a good thing in some ways, possibly. Because then that doctor might say, wait a minute, what's your sister saying? Wait a minute, hold on, what's she talking about? I want to know more. What's she talking? What? Yeah, right? Any port in a storm. But then I have to remind myself, I made a deal with God, right? It's not time. So I just kept my mouth shut and I didn't say anything. And I finished getting ready for the funeral I had to go to, and I left and I went to the funeral. But then later I came back and I said, I stopped in his room and I said, I happened to overhear you earlier. So I wasn't, eavesdrop or anything. It just, I heard it. And I said, I heard you mention, and I do have permission from him to talk about his stuff. By the way. But I said, I happened to overhear you say something about having difficulty with eye contact. Making eye contact. And I said, well, what if I told you it's because you don't need to make eye contact with those people, whomever it is that you're having difficulty doing? Like, is it everybody? Is it He says, no, it's just like strangers. Okay. Okay, as selfish and as rude as this may sound, have those strangers done anything for you? Do they feed you, clothe you? Have they earned your trust in some way? Done something for you to say, I am worth your time? No. Well, that's why. Your brain, the functional part of the brain, is saying, no, I don't need to make eye contact with this person. Now, for what reason, I can't say specifically, because Everybody is different, of course, but that is the basic answer to what's going on in the brain. Now, is it supposed to be quite like that? No, I think it's, I think the functional brain is more active than it's supposed to be, because it's suffered some type of trauma and now it's trying to pull in ranks to figure out what went wrong, how it went wrong, how it can fix it, and when we do that out here, just the same inside our brain, it kind of closes in and says, okay, I'm going to, focus on what I need to focus on. Not the extra luxuries, like looking at someone's eyes. Oh, how lovely your eyes are. Nope. Who are you? I need my firewall security system is saying, who are you? What are you to me? I don't need to make eye contact with you until there's a reason to do so. And just because you, as a person, really, really would like to make eye contact with this person, in fact, I'm in charge, not my brain. If I want to make eye contact with someone, I'm going to make eye contact with them. Nope. Sorry. I hate to tell you this, but nope. Your brain does that for a reason. Like I said, it could be because of a trauma that was suffered and the brain's still trying to figure it out, so it has to close in ranks. It has to focus its energies on that, and that's why it's even more focused than oh, little fly. It's even more focused than it normally would be. And that, I know it sounds silly to say that, because it's like, well, if somebody was extra focused, wouldn't they be like dead on making eye contact with somebody? No, there's different definitions to the whole focus functional brain, and it's all depends upon those definitions as to, do you detach eye-wise, the visual? Do you detach from hearing people? I can see you, I can make eye contact with you, but that doesn't mean I'm actually hearing you. Kind of like selective hearing. You've heard of that with kids? You're not making sense, parent. So they're hearing everything you say, but not necessarily listening and taking that information in because they don't need to. Because you don't make sense in some way. Because you're speaking too much and that's overwhelming their senses. That's another big one for not being able to make eye contact. I've noticed that. Is that sometimes if you've only got the ability, let's say, to focus 3 levels, let's say, I don't know. So there's the thinking, there's the ears to be able to listen to people, and then say just a general focus, okay? Do you see where you can have eye contact involved? Nope, that'd be a 4th one. If the brain can only focus or use so much at one point, at one time to do something, then the rest of it's just too much stimulus. It's too much. And that can cause the brain to need to focus on just what it needs to focus on. And eye contact gets cut out from that. We think it's a confidence issue. And yes, we do have that other side of the brain where we can say it's a confidence issue. But we also have the other side of the brain that says, well, what's the answer for that side? Oh, wait a minute, maybe it's we don't need to. Because that side works with need and don't need. Maybe the brain is saying I don't need to for some reason. So the best thing to do is figure out why you don't need to, as opposed to what's wrong with you that you can't keep eye contact. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I've heard that from people. My brother said he doesn't have that issue, that he doesn't feel badly because he can't keep eye contact with people. I'll say, okay, I believe him. I don't quite believe him. And the reason I say that is because then why even question it? Why even worry about trying to make eye contact with people? If you automatically already know that it's your brain doing it on purpose, for a reason, stopping you from making eye contact, then why keep trying? Then why worry about it? Why not just let it happen when it does happen? And just respect that your brain is doing what it's doing. That's it. Because it doesn't make sense. Because other people can make eye contact. Well, why can't I? Because it means something else, not us, is in control more so. And that's, again, that's my brain. I'm in control. My brain's not in control. I am. Yeah, you thought. Anyway, here's the funny thing. I just have to throw this in there. He doesn't watch these videos. He goes on my Reddit thing, but he doesn't go on my YouTube thing. Which I haven't been on Reddit all summer long. It kind of hurt when he was kind of, like he believed in me. And I know there's a part of his brain that still does. But because I'm his sister, and because there's a negative between me and him, brother and sister wise, like me and a lot of my siblings. I told you, you think I'm a nice person. I'm not, or I wasn't. I'm trying to be better, but I wasn't. Bad, selfish sister. Very selfish. I mean, think about it. Just the hoarding stuff alone. The stuff had to go somewhere. Maybe it went in someone else's space. How selfish is that, right? I mean, just that. Oh my gosh. Bad. But anyway, so there's a little bit of a negativity between me and all my siblings. So I think that has some bearing on it. But then also because I do still tend to say, he doesn't like how I state my theory. Like, it is the truth. It is. And it's like, you don't understand. If I sit there and I mess around with words and I try to mince words and say, oh, well, maybe, la, 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 I lose my train of thought. It's only when that I'm able to keep that train of thought. When I just say something just because that's what it is and that's all there is to it. Well, it sounds like I'm a big know-it-all. It sounds like I'm telling someone how they're really working. But that is how it works in the functional brain. It is an overfocus, and no, it's not supposed to be that way for me. But I can't change something until I can change it. Make sense? I don't know. Anyway, here's the funny thing, though, about what my brother and we were having this conversation. And he said, no, I'm not really sure I can see that. I mean, at first he sounded like he could kind of see what I was saying. I know what happened. When I first said it, I kind of kept a little simple. And I used the whole subconscious thing, I think. Saying, oh, it's maybe think of it like it's your subconscious saying, I don't know these people. I don't have any trust with them. There's no reason to trust them. They haven't earned that trust. That's why I can't make eye contact, right? And he said, yeah, you can kind of see that. But then I started continuing to talk. See, it's that overage. And that made it more difficult. So then he did same thing I do a lot of times. When somebody says something to me that it makes sense but doesn't quite make sense, I will flip it around and put it into terms that make sense to me. So when I said, do you understand what I'm saying or something, he's like, well, no. He said, and then he said something to me. I can't remember what it was. But basically the words he used was the same thing that I was saying. That the brain was doing it. That no, I think it's just my brain doing it, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Excuse me, same thing I'm saying. But he flipped it around in different words. Yeah, fun times. Anyway, we're at 30 some minutes. I don't want to sit here and as is, I feel horrible because I feel like, when you're saying hi to people and letting them know how things are going, don't you just like kind of focus on more what they would want to hear, which I don't really know what that is. It's just weird to have a conversation and it's one-sided. I like having two-sided conversations. A friend of mine actually told me that would be a good thing, that I should make YouTube videos where I actually have a conversation with someone and show the theory that way. Actually, I have several good ideas. I know what would do better when it comes to these videos. I know how to make these videos better. I know that would make them much more popular and people would watch them. And yet, well, why can't I do them? Oh, I know why. Because I don't need to. I do need to. It's like what do you call it? Helicopter parents. You know how there's overprotective parents? And a lot of times they're doing things to protect their children. Yes. But a lot of things that they're doing to protect their children are actually hurting them instead. Right? Because they're overprotective parents. And, yeah. That's how the brain is. It's doing stuff to protect us, but it's going overboard. It's that overfocus. It's that overage that's actually more so harming, not helping. One of these days I'll get that out there, right? Right. Because I know that I should be like making little skits. I should get some of my friends involved and say, let's make little skits. I'll make costumes and we'll have fun and we'll make scripts and we'll show little situations where this is how the functional brain, this is how the emotional brain is working. This is how you can actually see it in real life. This is how you can communicate with the subconscious. Yes, be able to actually communicate with your own subconscious. Read your own subconscious. Would you imagine being able to do that? Oh my goodness. How incredible would that be, right? Huh. I can. Oh well. Anyway. But I know that that's really what would work. Making those little skits. People would watch them. They would be entertained. They would be laughing. My YouTube channel would, what do they call them? It would blow up. Blow up? It doesn't sound good to say that, but yeah. And yet, I'm not doing it. Why not? Oh, well, because I don't need to. Because I don't know for a fact I'm right. And I don't want to put myself out there or my children out. See this? See that? Well, because I don't know. This is what would really count. This is what would really work. There's people out there all the time sharing not facts, but opinions of what could be in this world. Why can't I do the same thing? I'm an opinion person, not a fact person. From the time I was born, I'm not a fact person. And yet, I can't do it. It's not a fact. Until it's a fact. Until a doctor or a group of doctors approves it and says that it's legitimate, that I can't do it. You know? It's wrong to give mental health people false hope, right? I can't do that. I messed up my hair. So, no, I can't do it. Why not? Just try it. Just roll with it. Just run with it. Just play with it. I can't. All because for a fact, I don't know for a fact if my information is correct. And so you can't go around telling people that something's the truth when it's not. That's not right. So then I can't. So my brain says no. No, we can't do it. When in all honesty, one of the best ways to even find out if it's true or not would be to make those little skits to get the information out there. The sooner it gets out there, the sooner a doctor might see the video and be like, let me see about that. And make confirmation. Or a team of doctors, whatever, right? So if that's what I really needed, then. But you see how for as much as that would be the good thing to do, the right thing to do, what's needed to be done, my brain is stopping me, protecting me. You heard me, right? Oh, no, I can't do that. I gotta protect me. I gotta protect my kids, my family. I gotta protect my family. I don't want anybody to get mad because they think I'm lying to them, because I'm making stuff up, because I'm giving people false hope. I don't want to, give people false hope. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that do it. What's wrong with it? Just do it. Especially because you don't believe it's actually false hope. Can't. But I really believe in it. Okay, maybe I don't know it's a true fact, but I really, 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 really believe in it. I can't. Anyway. Oh. I think I hear my neighbor outside feeding Henrietta. We have a chicken, by the way. Not us, but the neighbor next door. The neighbor next door has a chicken. We call her Henrietta. I don't know what her real name is. She wakes us up every morning. It's kind of nice. For some reason, my phone didn't work, which is very possible these days because it can't. I'm surprised it's still running. It's only because it's plugged in that it's maybe still running. They keep sending me little messages saying, you should stop. You should stop. You're not supposed to record and charge at the same time. Oh well. It's gonna die on me, which is gonna suck because I hope when it dies on me, at least it doesn't die completely. There is information on here I would like to have. One of these days, I might write a book. One of these days, I might also write another book. Probably not. I'd like to write the fiction book, but And the whole Cambridge thing, I still haven't messaged back. I don't want to write a book. And one of the biggest reasons I don't want to write a book is really because I don't want to charge for it. And all those places are like, yeah, we'll help you write a book, but then they expect you to charge for it. That's how you're going to make your money back, right? I don't want money. If I write a book, that's fine, but it's free. Mental health. Our mental health is a right, not a privilege. We should understand our brains because we have the right to do so, not because somebody else. I'm not talking about other people who write books about mental health. Hey, you do what you do, you charge for it, that's fine. It makes sense, right? You put the work into it. But that's one of the reasons why I don't want to write a book, because no, I just want to give people the information. That's it. There you go. Take it, run with it. Then I can have my life, so I can work on my life, Oh well, we'll see. I might end up having to write the book. I don't want to charge for it, but we'll see. Way of the world, right? Gotta go with the flow. Can't go against the flow. Oh well. Anyway, I feel like there's so many other things I've already told you, because I've told you them in the other videos that I didn't publish. And I'm not going to publish. It's just not going to happen. They just, like I said, when's the time to publish? Now. Did I publish them? No. Then it's gone. It's not gone, but it's the moment of requirement is gone. Now it's all up to, well, what if I do it now? What if I do it now? What if I do it now? And without a fact to back it up as to why I should do it now. A 100% fact. Why I should take that video I made 3 weeks ago and go ahead and publish it. I won't. It'll wear on my mind because just like stuff, videos are stuff. Especially when you think they have a purpose to them. So in my mind, I have a whole list of all these videos that are porting junk. Oh my goodness. And they're taking up space too. Yeah. Might have to just get rid of them. Sometimes I'm glad that a tornado or natural disaster doesn't take out the house. Sometimes I kind of wish it would, because then I wouldn't have to worry about the stuff in the house. That's going to be a tough one. Stuff in storage, not so much. It's in storage spaced away from me for a reason. But the stuff closer to me, like in my room stuff, I'm keeping that for a reason. One thing I've noticed, a big percentage of that stuff is paperwork. Paperwork. from the time that my daughter, who's 20 some years old now, was a baby. Paperwork. Why? Because it's proof. Because it's fact. Because it's if I ever had to go to court to prove something, to prove that I bought diapers, to prove that, as stupid and silly as it sounds, that I did monetary things for my children, and that obviously they had to have been with me for me to do those things for them, like soccer shoes, somebody had to take care of them, take them to soccer, things like that. These things prove that, right? These receipts prove that. These statements from credit cards prove that. It's proof. That's what it is. It's one of the reasons paperwork is such a big thing. It's very functional to begin with because it's written word. And it's facts, personal facts that prove our existence, our importance. I mean, I have a Social Security card. Doesn't that mean I'm important? Right? It's paperwork. It proves. I mean, I held down to my kids' schoolwork. Now the artwork, that makes sense. But all the rest of the schoolwork, my sons, who are now in their 20s too, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why would I hold on to that, all that paperwork? Oh, because it's a way of proving that I was in their life. See, I was also mentally ill, right? Absent parent thing going on. See it? See why the paperwork's so important? Because it shows I was there. I wasn't there, but I was there. But I was there. See, there's proof of it. See this paper with my son's name on it when he was in 3rd grade? It's proof. Fun proof, right? Yeah. So, lots of paperwork hoarding. And that's a